Okay, so in the last part I showed you guys how to import an additional file and how to use the enveloping tool and to change the volume in certain parts of a file. This time I'm going to show you how to trim these files up if you need to, and I probably should have shown you this first because it's so easy and it's an essential thing to know. But if you haven't already figured it out, all you need to do is go to your tools, go to the selection tool, select a part, and after you select it, hit the backspace or the delete button, and boom, it disappears. And you can also do the typical Control X for cut, and if you put your marker somewhere else and do Control V, it will paste. And you can always go the long way and go to edit, cut, or copy or paste and all that stuff, and you guys I'm sure are smart enough to figure out most of that stuff on your own. But let's just look at one cool function that's in Audacity, and that's the I don't know what they call it here. Let's see what they call it. The trim button. Okay, so what you can do is you can select something, and then up here there's trim and silence. So what trim does is it deletes everything that you don't have selected on that track. So let's click trim, bam, the two parts that I didn't have selected disappear. And then you can take the selection tool, select everything, use the time shift tool, move it all over so it's at the beginning, and there you go. And if you wanted to export this as its own file, well, first you probably want to save the project just to be safe. So we'll save it as, and we'll call it tutorial again. Yes, replace it. And then you can go to file and then export, and export it as whatever you want, an MP3 file. There you go. And we're going to overwrite that as well. And that's the basics of it. So basically what you've learned is how to record something, take away the noise, and how to levelate it so that the volume levels of your voice are at a good level. You know how to import files into Audacity and how to change the volumes around in those files. You know how to cut parts off of those files so that you can take pieces, like if you screw up while you're talking, you can cut out parts of your talking where you messed up, and if you cut a chunk out, you know how to move the pieces around so that you can move them together, and so that the parts that you messed up talking, you could move the parts where you're talking properly together. And I mean, just with those few basic things, you can do a lot. If you guys like these, let us know, and I'll put out some more using Audacity and show you guys how to use a bunch of the effects and stuff like that to add extra trippiness or whatever to what you're doing, and getting more in depth into some of these other things. But I don't want to waste too much of your time. Like I said, that's all you really need to know to make a semi-decent recording. And be sure to make stuff and send it to us. We'd love to play it. Anyways, guys, have a great one, and see you later.